There's a scourge that is sweeping our great nation, at least according to about 66,000 people who have signed a petition on change.org to have it banned. And that scourge, blinding bright headlights. LED headlights are the subject of some controversy that they have, become more and more popular in recent years. And one gal on TikTok has become particularly offended by them, and that's led her to go viral. After she posted a TikTok that said this, the amount of times I'll be driving at night and I just see this flash of white light blinding my eyes and I can't see anything. And it's not these cars using like their high beams or anything like that. These are just their normal headlights. She also claims she has an astigmatism and that makes it worse. So what does it mean? Should the change.org petition, should we adhere to that? Should we start working on legislation to change headlights in cars these days?
I mean, here's the thing. I feel like this argument is incredibly nuanced because we've seen safety statistics that show that you're safer on the road when your lights are brighter. You can see more of the road. But is it potentially hurting other drivers that are, either in front of you or coming at you, as far as like you're head on to them and you're shining these bright lights directly at them? Is it hurting their driving? Are you causing them to not be able to see the lines on the road or other cars or their turn, whatever it may be, because your lights are just so gosh darn bright, like just so bright. And so I agree with her and kind of her premise that there is a problem because it is blinding people. I do have an astigmatism. I have not, I don't know how other people perceive LED lights, but from what I've heard from everyone, they seem to be incredibly bright.
Yeah, I don't think it's just an astigmatism thing.
I know that can affect the way you see light. It's just, the way your eyes are shaped are different. And so I get that, but I don't think that is a specific enough reason to ban them, you know what I mean? But she does get incredibly mad at
She's really worked up.
Yeah, she's very worked up. Like, there's a car behind her, and I can't tell if they have LED lights because the light looks, yellow in the camera light. But she is, like, getting so worked up in this video, and I'm first of all, I'm like, why are you filming a TikTok while you're driving?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, too.
Like, that seems like a bad idea. And then secondly, she flips off the car behind her, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, I get being upset about LED lights, but get upset against the manufacturers, not the people that have the cars and are driving them. It's not like this car behind her is flashing their lights, or getting upset.
She said they didn't have the high beams on.
They didn't have the high beams on, and so they have no control of that. They honestly don't even know that the lights are affecting you in this way, or that they might be bright enough where your car is because it looks like she's in a lower car. So this car behind her is higher, and they're just, shining down into her car. So it just seems a little odd that you would get that upset at the driver behind you. But we talked about road rage yesterday, and we get mad at, someone going the speed limit. So I'm not shocked, but I agree with her premise, but I'm like, it seems a little odd to get that worked up about this.
Yeah, I'm going to bring this back. If anybody has any thoughts, should we get rid of the bright LED headlights? There's a change.org petition that says so, and many people on TikTok, it seems, as well. 8772 RadioU, but, I have a lot of eye issues, too, and I have my own thoughts on this.
Okay.
And I used to have a big issue with the bright headlights.
Yeah.
But then I got a car that sits higher up. I got an SUV. And now I hardly ever even think about it.
Yeah.
It doesn't come up. And another thing you can do, and I know this isn't, like, if you have astigmatism, it's different. But I think a lot of people that don't like the bright headlights, part of the problem is they have a dirty windshield.
Oh,
and if you have a dirty windshield, whether it's the bright headlights or the sun shining in during the day, that's going to crush your visibility too, make it even worse than it already would be.
Right.
So nobody wants to hear that, but you got to take some Windex to that thing.
Yep.
And clear it up. And I think Dee is right that as much as it may be inconvenient for people to be driving head on into the LED lights, How many accidents do you hear about where somebody's like, a head-on collision because the car kind of coming their way had the bright lights and they were blinded, they drove right into them.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know how many accidents it could potentially caused, or, saved someone from being in an accident because they saw the deer and they, didn't collide with it or whatever. But, it's, here's the thing. As I said in the last segment we did about this is an incredibly kind of like nuanced debate, if you will, because I hear all your points and I agree with them, but I also hear the points of Susanna and Regina who are like, I'm suffering from this. This is causing me to have to stop in the road because I can't see. Because I've been in that situation before where you literally can't see your lane because the car that's driving towards you, their lights are just too bright. So it just feels like there has to be some type of happy medium where we can get them a little less bright, but it's still safe. I don't know.
It should be pointed out that in Europe, they do have the happy medium.
What is it?
They have adaptive headlights, smart headlights.
Yeah, they've talked about this.
Where somebody's coming the other way on the road or whatever, and so it dims them or focuses them down more towards the road instead of up ahead, so that they don't blind the people. The problem is, it says here in the United States, we have a law that was made years ago before these bright headlights became a thing, that cars are required to have the bright headlights and then the low beams. And because of how that law is written,
they're not allowed to use the adaptive.
Yeah, we can't use the adaptive technology that they use in Europe. So blame the lawmakers. Don't blame the car companies even. It's the government.
While you're here, you should watch more of our videos and subscribe so you don't miss what we do next.